Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not welcome back to March of the Living Dead 3. Well, we are talking about World War Z, which is a movie film that I've had on my shelf for a while. I had the Blu-ray. Recently bought the Steelbook, get the Blu-ray to my friend Brandon. So now I've been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. At one point, it was in a ABC as a W in an ABC review series. It was a candidate for at one point the last March of the Living Dead, but I finally, you know what, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it because I heard a lot about this movie. Like, it came out, and I guess people liked it, but I guess maybe it wasn't as well received as I thought it was. This movie had a lot of issues. Well, first of all, this movie was directed by Mark Forrester, who also directed Quantum of Solace, one of the worst James Bond movies ever made. Though that wasn't entirely his fault because there was a writer's strike. Daniel Craig wrote some of the stuff, but there was like bad editing and everything in that movie. Yeah. And they had this movie going. They were filming, and they brought in Damon Lindelof. They filmed most of it. Brought in Damon Lindelof and eventually Drew Goddard to rewrite a new ending because they didn't like the new ending, and they actually had something set in. Originally, it was going to be started in China, but that they thought this was a way to market it to China. China said hell no, so it's not there, I guess. And watching this movie is all I say is once you the initial opener with him trying to save his family, finding this kid, running from the zombies, that's fine. But the whole rest of this film is just Brad Pitt going from country to country to country. It's like, we gotta go to we're in Philadelphia. We go to Newark. We escape the outbreak, right? Now, oh, you have to go to South Korea. Okay, that's not it. We have to go towards Israel. We gotta go to Israel. Okay, that's not it. No, we have to go to Cardiff. It's just like boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, da boom. And eventually they end up in Canada at the end. I don't know. I don't remember if there was ever a reason given as to why the outbreak happened. But a lot of zombie movies do that. Well, oh, it just happened. There's no real reason. Even the original Night Living Dead didn't give. They say it might be something from space that landed here. Who we don't know, right? Here they don't, right? So, our main character is Jerry with a G, which technically be a female spelling of the name, but whatever. Played by Brad Pitt, and I would just be calling him Brad Pitt. And we see he's having very happy times with his wife and his two daughters, Rachel and Connie. And they are traffic in downtown Philadelphia when the zombies invaded. Weren't you playing football with a mule? Nobody's gonna get that reference, and I don't care. Unless you watched What a Cartoon Show back in the 90s on Cartoon Network, the cartoon is Gramps. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, there were aliens, not zombies, but you know. Sorry. Anyway, so they end up saving a little boy named Tommy, whose family are hunkered down in their apartment and refuse to leave. So, yeah, they're rescued in a helicopter because Brad Pitt used to have an important job working for the United Nations. An important job that's never specified. He's just a very important person. So it's like he's brought in by the United Nations Deputy General, who doesn't have a name. Oh yeah, Terry Umutoni, Secretary General, United Nations. Yeah, Undersecretary General, whatever. Yes. So they're taken to a U.S. Navy ship stationed in the Atlantic Ocean, where there are scientists studying this outbreak. Among them is Andrew Fassbach, who is played by Elise Gibel, star of the show Scorpion. That is a good show. Check that out. I don't know where you stream it. Paramount Plus, maybe. I've meant to try to stream it. I only watched season one. It's one of those shows that I watched. And I can't even say it was because of my son's schedule was on Mondays. But that's wrestling night back then, right? So wrestling, yeah. And Fastback believes the plague is caused by a virus and that they need to find the origin of this virus to create a vaccine. I don't know if they ever really found that, but we'll find out. This movie is so hard to follow. I just kept, he's going there. Okay, now he's going there. What? Yeah. So apparently, if Jerry did not agree to do what the Deputy General, Secretary General did, his family would be kicked off the vessel. That's bullshit. So he has to do it. Yes. So Jerry Fastback and a Navy SEAL go to Camp Humphreys in South Korea. Our first stop. International stop. Yes. And this is fucking stupid. They get there. They're attacked by zombies. Everyone runs back in, and Fastback slips on the plane ramp because it's wet, and he shoots himself in the fucking head. So much for this very important guy you needed to help stop the virus. And after leading up production issues, my thought is, what if this guy was more important, but after rewriting, they didn't need him anymore, so they just did this? This is not confirmed. It's my theory. There are a bunch of U.S. soldiers stationed at the camp, and they're saved by them. And apparently, the infection was brought to the base by a doctor. It's doctor. A CIA officer, prisoner. This is where he's now pointed towards Israel, where Mossad is established as a secure area. They got a wall. Apparently, in Jerusalem, they just have a wall. Okay. Then we meet Jürgen Warmbrunn, a high-ranking Mossad official, who mentions that he intercepted communications of Indian troops fighting zombies, as well as intercept defenses. So, it protects itself, the massive wall, blah, 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 which was shown in trailers of, like, hordes of zombies, but that's not in this version, I don't think. Right here. However, the refugees' loud celebrations attract the zombies which thickly form massive castells to overcome the walls. So yeah, then the zombies are all overrunning the city now, so Warmbrunn tells Israeli soldiers to accompany Jerry back to the plane. So they went there, and then nothing happened, and then as they leave, Jerry notices there's an elderly sick man and a malnourished boy that the zombies are ignoring. Wonder what that could mean. But Sigan, one of his escorts, is bitten on her hand. They cut it off. Yeah! So she doesn't turn into a zombie. This is the only movie ever that works. I'm serious. I mean, Ash cuts his arm off, and something still affects him, sort of. Right? And they make it to a commercial airliner. Yes, somehow. So now, we are redirecting the plane to a World Health Organization medical research facility in Cardiff. Yes, things are going too well now. So we need some. It's like, oh, okay, things are going well. well, we can't allow that to happen. So, many times he keeps calling back to talk to his wife. And then he also keeps saying, my phone is dying. My phone is dying. He gets a hold of the Attorney General and talks to the guy in there and is like, oh, your phone died. But I was able to talk to him before it didn't. Yes, we'll take you there. And yet. But there's a zombie on the plane. How no one saw that at all. Yeah. So Jerry decides to detonate a grenade. He tries to build a wall with suitcases. That doesn't work, of course. It breaches the cabin, blows up, which crashes the plane, but it's just but a scratch. Because they presume that Jerry is dead. And they just kick the family out, go to Canada. That's where you go. But Jerry and Segan survive the crash, although Jerry is trapped in his seat and has sustained injuries. But Segan rescues him, and they reach Cardiff facility. But he goes sleep. He goes unconscious. He wakes up 3 days later. Sleeping 3 days should feel very good when you wake up, I guess. Or worse, who knows. And are being treated by the World Health Organization staff there. Yes. And one of these doctors is played by Peter Capaldi. That's right. Peter Capaldi plays the doctor of the Peter Capaldi plays a doctor from the World Health Organization's, which initials are HWO. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? If Peter Capaldi was the 12th Doctor? Do you get it? Yeah? Do you get it? Yep. All right. So Jerry, having seen what happened in Israel, has deduced that the zombies ignored the sick or the injured. I believe this is where the reshoots have come in. Because the zombies now, instead of jumping around like they were earlier, they're just running regular. So, the idea is to inject healthy people with a curable pathogen as a form of camouflage against the zombies. But the samples of the pathogens are in a section of the facility that is infested with zombies. So Jerry, Sagan, and the head doctor, who's not Capaldi but the other guy, took the sneak to the lab, but the zombies hear them. So Jerry is the only one to reach the samples, because of course he is. He's the hero. Yes, and he has no more options, so he just goes, fuck it. And accidentally creates the coronavirus 17 years earlier. I'm joking. It's came out in 2013, right? So when this came out, and look. Wait, it didn't yet. Yeah. 7 years later, not 17, 7 years. 7. No. It works, and he's able to open the door and leave, and his zombie ignores him. So, yes. And then we just have them, they're going to inject people with these to protect themselves. They're just going to inject the people with sickness, I guess. They're going to create a vaccine out of it, I guess. I don't know. Jerry and Segan reach Nova Scotia, Canada. where he reunites with his family and the little kid who they just decide to adopt now because technically speaking, they kidnapped this kid, right? Because this kid wanted to leave, nobody else wanted to come out to help him, so they took him. And it's like, but like once the vaccine is established and things, they'll be like, okay, where's our kid? Like we can go out now. I don't know, but yeah, and this setup, there was supposed to be a sequel. This isn't the end. Apparently, this is based on a book. It was very different. It was very, very different. And yeah, I don't this, but yeah, they set up for a sequel, which was supposed to happen, but in 2019 they just said nah, because of budget. Well, the reshoots that were forced upon this film ballooned the budget past $190 million. Said the budget was between $190 million to $269 million, but it made $540 million, so they made their money back at least. Yeah, I'll give this a middle of the road. It's fine. It's fine. It took me so long to get to it. It's one of those where it's like, is it worth it? Not really. It's okay. It's okay. Brad Pitt is good, but it's Brad Pitt, so he's going to be good. Mr. Pizza. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on World War Z? Then comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.